Hello people, another beautiful day. Yup, hope your five senses work, health and strength is good. What? And today's February the 25th. March is here. Okay, what's up Tweaktown? Okay, got a nice little article here for you. It's going to take me about 10 minutes to get through it. Listen to this. Microsoft 10-year deal with Nintendo, Nvidia were masterfully planned. Like I told you in the articles before, Microsoft is not stupid. Listen to this. Microsoft has found a way to lead regulatory remedies and discussion in the Activision Blizzard merger with offers that can tremendously benefit the company. Says here, Microsoft has found a way to answer regulatory concerns with a strategy that significantly benefit Xbox business. Then it says here, in 12th step here, listen to this. Let me get this out the way here because this is blocking me. It says, there more than meets the eye with Microsoft's recent 10-year Call of Duty deals. The company has signed contracts to offer Call of Duty on competing platforms like Nintendo Systems and Nvidia GeForce Now streaming service for a full decade. Microsoft is attempting to satisfy regulatory concerns in a way that is favorable to itself, the two competing game companies, and global consumers. And it says here, the deals are particularly advantageous for Microsoft, who will see its games and content expand to new audience across cloud gaming and Nintendo uniquely merged handheld console market. In a press conference held shortly after an European Commission merger hearing in Brussels, Microsoft President Brad Smith said the deal would expand access to Call of Duty to 150 million more consumers. Then it says in parentheses, Nvidia service will get all Xbox PC games, but Nintendo is limited to Call of Duty. These deals could grow Call of Duty player base exponentially. The shooter franchise has already made $31 billion without releasing on the Switch platform. Then it says in parentheses, which has made nearly $67 billion in lifetime revenue, close parentheses, are being made available to stream on Nvidia GeForce Now. Then it says here, the math seems simple. Microsoft appears to be combining the usage number of the Nintendo Switch and GeForce Now to get the figure. Nintendo has shipped 122.5 million Switch console globally, and GeForce Now has more than 25 million members in over 100 countries. Microsoft is confident these 10-year licensing deal will move the merger towards regulatory approval. This expansion point is expected to benefit consumers by virtue of more choice and wider availability of content across multiple mediums. Activision Blizzard games like Call of Duty are not currently available on the Nintendo Switch or Nvidia GeForce Now streaming service. Games like Overwatch and Diablo are available on the Switch, though. Then it says here, in this article, we are taking a closer look at how these deals will benefit Microsoft for more context and understanding of where the Xbox brand currently is and where it could be post-merger. Says here, on the surface, it looks like Microsoft had conjured up these deals in a bid to curb regulators' worries. However, it is very likely that the deal were planned all along, and that Microsoft had always intended to make similar offers with competitors like Nintendo and Nvidia if the merger was approved. The reality is that these licensing deals fit perfectly into Xbox business plan. Since unifying Xbox console with Windows 10 PC years ago, the Xbox brand is no longer just a walled garden console platform. Xbox is now a service that bridges multiple access points and serves games and content across all consumer technology. Then it says here, the cross-platform ecosystem significantly evolved with advent of Xbox Game Pass, which transformed the video game industry with its innovative all-you-can-play access, a concept that spawned a wave of multiple game subscription copycats. Game Pass Ultimate also introduced Microsoft xCloud gaming streaming service that brought Xbox to mobile service and even directly to consumer TV sets. Microsoft wants Xbox to be everywhere that consumer and gamers currently are, and the company has done an impressive job in executing this plan. Multi-platform expansion is Xbox raison d'etre, which includes offering games, content, and service on competing platforms, especially on competing platforms. Says here, that brings us to the astronomically high 150 million expansion points that Microsoft brought up during its press conference. This figure has the potential to radically boost Xbox engagement, revenue, and profits. Then it says here, in past article, I discussed how important monthly active users are for any platform. These numbers indicates how many people are engaging, playing, and spending on a storefront or service. Here's a quick big picture scenario. Post-merger, Xbox multi-active users will combine with Activision multi-active users, MAUs. There will be some crossover because some Xbox MAUs are from Activision Blizzard games, but we can still combine Xbox MAUs with King MAU to understand how large Microsoft gaming platform presence could be. Says here, Microsoft recently announced that Xbox had a record-breaking 120 million MAUs. Activision latest earning report shows that King had 233 million MAUs as of December 31st, 2022. That means Microsoft gaming MAUs could tally up to at least 353 million MAUs if the merger closes. Then it says in parentheses, this number isn't entirely accurate as users are in flux. Says here, since we eliminate both Activision Blizzard numbers to remove any chance of overlap, these numbers could be even higher. For reference, Sony PlayStation platform currently has 112 million monthly active users. Remember that user base I talked about with PlayStation 1? Okay, now you're getting the picture. Says here, as per Microsoft, the 10-year licensing deal with Nintendo and Nvidia would bring Call of Duty and Xbox games to 150 million more people. The number really do speaks for themselves on a user-based access level. And it says here, I think there's a clear path forward regulatory approval. The two agreements were announced today really provide two guardrails, if you will, shows how we can come to terms to make Call of Duty available on other platforms. Today it's Nintendo, in the future it could be Sony. On the other side, the agreement we've done with Nvidia really shows how we address the concern with cloud gaming. We were really shown if this deal is approval with these agreements, we will bring Call of Duty 150 million more people. Microsoft President Brad Smith says having access to exponentially more users isn't the only way Microsoft would benefit from these deals. We have a quick breakdown below. Okay, here go to breakdown. It says ways the Microsoft benefit from the 10-year deals. First up, Nvidia. Nvidia GeForce Now Access Cloud Spark game purchase. GeForce Now subscribers can only stream games that they own. The service is not a storefront, only a delivery system and methods of access. Microsoft will continue to release games on competing PC platforms to maximize sales and GeForce Now incentive purchase. This directly synergizes with Microsoft plan of A, selling games, and B, generating in-game revenues via microtransaction. Okay, next subtopic, Switch. Switch will likely spark Call of Duty game purchase. Nintendo has shipped 122.5 million Switch consoles. Major publishers typically want to have some presence on the Switch. Even Microsoft released games on the Switch, including Minecraft, which is quite popular on the platform. Technological setbacks could disrupt full game sales and distribution methods. will also be a big factor in Call of Duty sales on the Switch. It's possible that Microsoft will have to use Nintendo cloud infrastructure to distribute Call of Duty onto the Switch due to hardware power limitations. And then it says, next subtopic, microtransaction revenue. Call of Duty is one half game sale and one half microtransaction. Blizzard typically operates on expansion for World of Warcraft and in-game purchase from the likes of Overwatch. Nintendo and Nvidia will facilitate in-game purchase opportunities via their respective platforms. Then it says here, to summarize, Microsoft finds these deals agreeable because the downsides are minimal. Nvidia GeForce Now is only a competitor because it can remotely stream games to PC, mobile device, browsers, and smart TVs. Told you Microsoft ain't stupid. Says here, Xbox Game Pass Ultimate streaming has a significant advantage over GeForce Now because it's addictive to the core subscription. Cloud streaming is an added bonus to Ultimate subscriptions, and the main reason to buy Game Pass is to access a pool of over 400 games, some of which are streamable to other devices at no extra charge. It's a Game Pass world and we're just living in it, people. Anyway, let me finish this off. It says here, GeForce Now, on the other hand, is only a cloud distribution service and requires games to be purchased before they can be streamed over Nvidia powerful servers. Says here, Microsoft certainly will not lose anything by bringing games to Nintendo. On the contrary, as we said above, Xbox games like Minecraft are doing exceedingly well on the platform, and the system remains an attractive place to sell games by virtue of its wide install base. Says here, the competition will benefit too. Nintendo in particular stands to benefit from game sales, assuming Call of Duty is available natively on the Switch, and more people will sign up to Nintendo Switch Online because it requires for online play. And then it says here, Nvidia GeForce Now subscription will gain access to the 31 billion Call of Duty franchise, as well as other Activision Blizzard and Xbox games. Adding more value through popular games typically boosts subscription sign up and retention. These deals represent a win-win scenario for everyone involved, and based on the cross-platform ethos of the Xbox business, it was highly likely that Microsoft would at least make the Nintendo deal if the merger had been approved. Microsoft could stand to gain considerably grounds in the cloud gaming and console market, using competitors' platform as a springboard to reach and monetize new users. And that is the end of the article. So yeah, it's a Game Pass world, and we are just what? Living in it. So Microsoft, okay, you got GeForce Now, Tencent. You got the shareholders, the employees, the public, and then you got Serbia, Chile, Saudi Arabia, and Brazil supporting Microsoft in this. So what Microsoft is doing now is trying to get Game Pass on everything that moves. And Sony is to be blamed for this, because when the whole Call of Duty, when the whole Activision situation started, Sony didn't care. They only cared about Call of Duty. They weren't looking at the bigger picture. They didn't think like, oh, our contract is about to be up, maybe we need to step into this. They got so caught up in Call of Duty that they didn't see the bigger picture. But Microsoft saw it. So Phil Spencer now, he runs back to the headquarters. Just giving you a scenario here. Runs back to the headquarters and like, look, we need to jump on this now. And the heads at Microsoft is like, okay, what y'all think? Should we care? Does Activision Blizzard matter to us? Should we help them? I mean, what y'all think? You know, should we leave it alone? Should we mind our own business? Should we really help them? Stuff like that. I guess they were like, okay, go. Take 70 billion with you. Go. Now, move. Phil Spencer is like this. Got him. Okay? So, this is all on Sony. Microsoft saw this. Sony got so caught up in Call of Duty. They thought, I'm just giving you a scenario here. They got so caught up in Call of Duty, Nintendo didn't even pay attention to it. Sony didn't see this. They thought, oh, you know, maybe the situation will solve by itself. Nothing's gonna happen. Microsoft said, and they snuck in and got him. And this was all about Game Pass. Now that statement that Sean Layden just made, that Game Pass is not sustainable, over in that article on gamingbible.co.uk, that is water under the bridge now. Microsoft went like this and got him. So when the deal was done, panic started to happen now, and that's what this article is referring to right now. So Microsoft had to like get other. They got support behind this, but they had to put out a map. They had to put out a map on like, okay, the reason why we're doing this. We bought Activision Blizzard for this much is this, and then they're like breaking in this article. They break it down in steps. So they want to bring their games to Nintendo, Nvidia GeForce now, to Valve, Steam, to TVs, to mobile phones, to laptop, to desktop computer. It was a brilliant plan. Okay, it was a race to for cloud gaming. It was a race for cloud gaming, and Microsoft beat everybody to the punch with this. Beat everybody to the punch with this. So the video game industry is very competitive, and Microsoft had to maintain their competitive edge in this market. Like when Phil Spencer said it best, Sony and Nintendo was not our competitors. So that means that they looked down that road and they saw who were their competitors, and they know how much revenue they have and market share and all that. So Microsoft is like, you know what? Let's get this Game Pass up off the ground. We got to do this now. And the first candidate they took with them was ZeniMax Bethesda. They probably were going around to other developers like, hey, we got this Game Pass thing that we're trying to get off of the ground. You want to join us? And I guess ZeniMax Bethesda was the only was the one that like agreed with Microsoft on this. And it took them 3 years. It took them 3 years to get the deal through. So that means you had lawyers on both sides of the table hashing out all the detailed blueprint, banana peels, mouse traps, anything. Hashing out the deal. It took them 3 years. And once they got Game Pass off the ground, let the games begin. Now the subscription service war is really on now. And then Activision Blizzard popped up on the radar. And you, Sony, not thinking? Microsoft, they just went like this. Got him. Okay? Yeah. They beat everybody to the punch with this. So now you got Game Pass on everything now. It's a Game Pass world, and we're just living in this, man. So yeah, it is a Game Pass world, man. So I had to read this article to you to show you what's going on here. The video game industry is competitive. Microsoft beat everybody to the punch with this, you know. And then the EU and the CMA regulators are like this. Even the FTC is like this. They're searching the deal. They can't find nothing. It's like they're looking. They can't find nothing. Okay? So Microsoft now that they got the support from the shareholders, the employees, the public, in those 4 countries, Serbia, Saudi Arabia, Chile, and Brazil. Now they came up with another plan, like, okay, we're going to put our service on Nvidia GeForce Now and Nintendo. So they're just like, they saw the vision and just went straight for it. And yeah, they beat everybody to the punch with this, man, because the EMA, the CMA, the EU, they're looking at it, they're trying to figure out what's going on here. Then you add Take-Two to the mix, because they're going to they're going to bring their expertise, and they're going to bring their expertise about the game industry to the case. Then you add Valve to the mix. Yeah, they beat everybody to the punch with this, man. This video game market is competitive, and you have to maintain your competitive edge in this market. And that's what this article just breaks down in a nutshell. So, yeah, yeah, pretty smart, Microsoft, pretty smart. Like I told you before, this article breaks down the steps of how they're doing this. You know, how they're like bringing how they're trying to get Game Pass on every platform. You know, on anything that moves, no one is left behind, man. So, yeah. You know, and it's going to benefit them in the long run. You know, everybody's going to benefit from this. You know, everybody's going to benefit from this. But Microsoft definitely is going to benefit from this. Yeah, this was a nice article, and I'm glad I read it, because I like to read the articles. You know, I don't just like coming out here just talking, and not sharing the article with you. You know, I like to share the article with the audience, so to show them what's going on here. So yeah. Anyway, but this was a nice article, man, and yeah, it's a Game Pass world, and we are just living in it. So yeah, Tweaktown, well, nice article, well done on this. Yeah, it was definitely worth it, man. Anyway, latest video for y'all to enjoy. Nice talking to you people again. Chris, still a Star Wars and Star Trek thing, or Dark Side. Go. Peace.